Leader of the Senate. Distinguished Senator Abaribe.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise on a matter of urgent public importance. Order 51, matter of urgent public importance. (4151). Order 41 and 51. 41, the matter of discussion shall, if possible, be referred to the Senate before commencement, and the President of the Senate shall refuse to allow the claim unless he is satisfied that the claim is definite and urgent. 51, notice shall not be dispensed with in the case of a motion or in respect of any other proceeding in which notice is required, except with the consent of the President and the general assent of the senators present. Mr. President, you recall that I discussed the matter with you, and we need the consent. Thank you.
Yes, distinguished colleagues, distinguished Senator Abaribe had actually discussed the matter with me, and a corollary to what he read is Order 41, sub 4, that says not more than one such motion may be made at the same sitting. So, so give us a preview of what it is. So let's listen to any other person in case there's somebody with a more urgent motion.
Thank you, Mr. President. It has to do with the education of our youth and with some fundamental wrong narrative that is in one of the books that is being used to teach our children civic education. And so we feel that it is something that is urgent and necessary for the Ministry of Education to quickly withdraw that book and amend such place. That is why.
Is there any person with any other urgent matter? Yes. Senator Ifeanyi.
Mr. President, sorry, I would have consulted with distinguished Senator Abaribe on the subject matter, but I think the information is false. I have bought the books last weekend and I went through it. It is a social media friction, and that's why it's very important that we regulate issues that concerns false rumors and social media frictions. We don't need to fix the bad blood between us. The book, I have it, and I can confirm there was nothing that was written against ethnicity or bigot or whatever in that book as being portrayed in the social media. So I am here, asking that we should withdraw that motion. Thank you, Mr.
Okay. Thank you for the information. And distinguished Senator Abaribe, it wouldn't even have been necessary to take it under matter of urgent national importance, because the main motion, your motion is already on the other paper. Distinguished Senator Yaradua.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, my distinguished colleagues, I am Senator Abdulaziz Eradua, representing the good people of Katsina Central. I rise on Order 41 and 51, matter of urgent public importance. The matter for discussion shall, if possible, be referred to the President of the Senate before commencement of the day's sitting, and the President of the Senate shall refuse to allow the claim unless he is satisfied that the matter is definite and urgent. Order 51. Notice shall not be dispensed within the case of a motion or in respect of any other proceeding for which notice is required except with the consent of the President of the Senate and the general assent of the senators present. Mr. President, I'm bringing a matter that concerns the kidnapping of 5 students in Federal University of Dusuma, which took place yesterday.
Of the Senate that he be allowed to move the motion because of its urgency. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. You may now proceed to move your.
Thank you, Mr. President. Motion on kidnapping of university students in Federal University Dusima, Katsina State on Wednesday, October 4th, 2023, and the rising cases of kidnapping for ransom in the Northwest geopolitical zone. The Senate notes with serious concern the kidnap of 5 female students of the Federal University Dusima, Fuduma, in Katsina State by gunmen from their hostel rooms in the early hours of Wednesday, October 4th, 2023. Notes also that a fortnight ago, 25 school students of Federal University of Gusau were also abducted. Fortunately, 16 of them were successfully freed 3 days later during the rescue conducted by security agencies. Worried that these kidnap incidents have thrown the university and academic communities into a panic mood, aware that 8 core members have been kidnapped by suspected terrorists on their way to camp in Zamfara State on Monday, August 21st, 2023, the core members were traveling in an Akwa Ibom transport company bus from Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, to Sokoto State for the 1-year mandatory national service when their vehicle was intercepted by the terrorists. The Senate recalls that the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Ebetokun, when appointed in June 2023, amongst his first set of action plans was the creation of the School Protection Squad, an initiative aimed at enhancing the safety of schools and children. Quoting the public relations officers of the Nigerian Police, ACP Olumuyiwa Adejoji, he said, and I quote, "The squad will be equipped with the relevant assets and advanced training to effectively respond to security challenges facing educational institutions across the country." Concerned that the frequency of kidnapping for ransom has become almost a daily and weekly occurrence in major towns and communities in the Northwest geopolitical zone, the Senate resolves to commend the security agencies for their ongoing effort in tackling the menace of kidnapping, insurgency, and other security challenges. However, urge the various security agencies in Nigeria to be more proactive and ensure these kidnapped students are all released without delay. The Senate calls on the military and other security agencies to conduct a special operation to dislodge the bandits in the Northwest Zone. The Senate also urged the security agencies to enhance and coordinate their intelligence sharing. The Senate directs the Nigeria Police to ensure that the School Protection Squad demonstrates a clear commitment to protecting school children and provide a safe environment where students and teachers can engage in teaching and learning without the fear of being attacked or kidnapped. The Senate directs the Senate Committee on Legislative Compliance to ensure the relevant security agencies comply. Mr. President, my distinguished colleagues, recently there is a voice message by one of the notorious kingpin known as Dogo Gide, who has promised that anytime, in fact, that he has just started kidnapping and armed robbery, that anytime he abducts 10 people, he will make sure he kills 7 and then free 3. So this is very, very urgent, and I think it is important for the federal government to take a very serious action on this. I so submit, Mr. President.
Distinguished Senator Kaka.
Thank you, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues. My name is Kaka Shehu Lawan, representing the good and resilient people of Borno Central Senatorial District. Mr. President, I rise to second the motion ably moved by distinguished Senator Abdulaziz Musa Eradua. And with the leave of Mr. President, I want to lend my voice. Mr. President, the security situation in the northwestern part of Nigeria and Nigeria in general is very alarming. And this Senate must rise to the occasion by calling those saddled with the responsibility of protecting lives and properties to rise to the occasion and do the needful. As the representative of the people, all hands must be on deck at our own end by calling a spade a spade. We call service chiefs and other security agencies that came here for confirmation. We have extracted commitment from them that whenever they are called upon to do the needful, they will rise to the occasion. This situation is very alarming, particularly female students in a university hostel being abducted, and nothing is heard from these poor girls up to this. Mr. President, by Section 14, subsection 2, paragraph B of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the security and welfare of the people shall be the primary purpose of government. Mr. President, I urge my colleagues to give this motion expeditious consideration and call all the stakeholders saddled with the security responsibility to do the needful within the shortest possible time, sir. I so second. Thank you, Mr. President, sir.
Distinguished Senator Lawan.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Very distinguished colleagues. I am Ahmed Ibrahim Lawan, I represent Yobe North. Mr. President, the issue of security in Nigeria has been at the front burner for a long time, and kidnapping, and of course, members of the National Assembly, particularly the Senate, discussing the insecurity in the country has been on for a long time. Since 2007, when I joined the Senate, it has always been security issues. And in the 8th and the 9th sessions of the Senate, we had summits, national summits, to discuss the insecurity in the country. And we had so much agitations for calling for the review of the security architecture of the country. Mr. President, I think the situation in some places has improved, but in others has deteriorated and escalated. Let me commend our security forces. They, in most cases, commit themselves to protect us with the little resources that we give them, because we don't have enough as a country and we can't give them enough. But at all times, this National Assembly has been supportive of the security agencies, and I know will continue in the 10th session of the National Assembly. So, Your Excellency, I believe that the security situation now requires a different approach, because we have done the same thing over the years and the result has not been anything to be called successful. I listened to the man who was saying if he abducts 10, he will kill 7 and take ransom for 3. That shows how bold, how comfortable the bandits are becoming, challenging the entire nation. So those of us who are heading or members of the security or defense-related committees of the Senate have a task. We must hold those who are supposed to fight for the security of this country responsible. But when we do so, we should also be mindful of the fact that it's not only their own responsibility as well. We have, the citizens have a responsibility as well, because if you are abducting school children or students from institutions or people from their homes, other citizens may have information, may know what is going on, but nobody reports. And you cannot achieve a successful security system without citizen participation. So there is need to bring on board the participation of citizens into this fight, because it's not going to be kinetic, and only kinetic. And here, it may be a long-term thing, but I believe that there should be a national reorientation of Nigerians on how to address security matters. When you see something, say something, that's what they say. But I think we should go beyond when you see something, say something. When you see something, say something at the right time to the right person. Don't just make it a social media thing. You capture somebody's picture and throw it into the system for people to just read and laugh, or maybe say, well, there's nothing we can do, throwing our hands up. So I want to suggest here that we task our committees, or our committees should task themselves, those that are defense and security related, to get the new people, because we have new set of people. The security agencies are headed by new people in most cases. Then the service chiefs are new. We have to engage, and we must insist on measurable targets. And this is not only us in the Assembly. I believe Mr. President and his team on the side of the executive, when we give resources to these security agencies, we must have clear targets. How long does it take them to make things better? Okay, this banditry in the northwest. How long? 3 months? We want measurable targets. It's not enough to push resources. It should be on the basis of what they can achieve when they are given more and more resources. But I believe that they are trying to do their best, but we have to put our eyes and ears to ensure that we know what they are doing, that we insist where we feel they are not doing well, to say you must do better than this, because we have been supporting you. Lastly, Mr. President, there must be an orientation of our citizens. I don't know how that will happen, whether National Orientation Agency or whatever, but we must have that orientation, that when we see someone, in a situation where 100 motorcycles carrying 300 bandits will go through villages and nobody will alert anyone, or when someone is alerted, he doesn't do anything, there should be consequences, especially for those that are supposed to protect us. But citizens must participate in this. Thank you very much, Mr. President, for the opportunity.
Thank you for your submission. Distinguished Senator Olamileko.
Thank you, Mr. President. Very distinguished colleague, Adiola Solomon Olamileko,
representing Ogun West Senatorial District. Mr. President, let me start by sympathizing with the mover of this motion, but let me put it on record that this is the second time that students will be kidnapped from two different universities. The first one is from Zamfara State, and the second one that happened on the 4th of October is from Katsina State. Mr. President, what this goes to show is that this is a new trend in our society. Because this current administration, without having any reservation or doubt, have at least achieved some mileage in trying to curtail all this kidnapping, banditry or so, as fast within the last 4 months of this administration. It has reduced drastically. But with this new trend, I want to believe these kidnappers are living within these particular areas where these students are being kidnapped. And if you noticed, the rescue mission which our military have engaged or have embarked upon have only succeeded to the extent of getting the release of 2 or 3 of these students. So they are still having these students within that area where they have been kidnapped. Mr. President, this takes us back to what we have been agitating for in the last 6 to 7 years, which is the issue of the state police. Mr. President, I don't know, maybe this idea of insecurity will continue to discuss every day and day, and we are not providing a major solutions. I can tell you, it's on record, that both the 7th and the 8th Senate, 8th and the 9th Senate, have organized 2 security summits. Millions of naira have been spent. All these people that are heading our security agencies were invited to provide solution to all these security challenges. A report was generated and it was transmitted to the executive as part of our own contribution to addressing this insecurity in our nation. But what do we have? For those 2 times this summit was carried out, nothing was done in this regard. Mr. President, I want to also put it on record that at some point in the life of the 9th Senate or 8th Senate, we passed a bill that is about the community policing. Since that bill has been passed into law, I don't know, and I cannot refer to any area that can say, yes, community policing is happening in my area. Sir, we need to get these governors involved. And these governors will not fund federal police. Rather than they will just be giving peanuts. But then we bring about state policing, because they will be responsible for the funding. And the fears which we express, which has to do with maybe during the election, we can separate this duty. Where the federal police handle national election, the state police will take care of the insecurity in their states. Until we start looking beyond what is currently happening, my dear brother, my dear colleague, this thing will continue. Because these kidnappers are not imported from anywhere. They are from the states. And they are Nigerians. They are Nigerians. So if we should take the bull by the horn in this 10th Senate and amend the Constitution, creating state policing, I can tell you that will be light at the end of the tunnel. So it's a drastic, it's issue that what is happening now demand a drastic approach for us in addressing this insecurity that have taken over the entire society of our country. I so submit, Mr. President.
Distinguished Senator Yao Sahabri of Zamfara State.
Thank you, Mr. President. My name is Yao Sahabi Alhaji, representing Zamfara North Senatorial District. I will first of all want to thank the mover of the motion, being the first time maybe he is going deep in discussing an issue of banditry and kidnapping. For those of us that have been here since 2007, knew what went on the issue of kidnapping, banditry, and all sorts of crimes that have been discussed in this chamber. Mr. President, those of us from Zamfara are not only disappointed, but disillusioned. And at a point, we felt as if we have been neglected and abandoned by the central government. However, with the coming of the new administration, we rekindle our hope that most likely there may be new hope, and the new hope agenda will reach us as it affects the security situation of this country. So many people have said so many things, and one of them I could easily notice that of Senator Yai. He mentioned police severally in his submission. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, let me tell you that this issue has gone beyond the police. And to some extent, one could even say that it is likely to have gone beyond the military. Because there's nothing that has not been put in place. And yet, we cannot come out of this situation. It is becoming more alarming, more alarming on each blessed day. The distinguished senator who presented this motion has only, omitted one sensitive information he will have given to this Senate, which has been circulating and went viral on the social media, that a lady transporting about 147 ammunitions, AK-7 ammunitions, from Taraba, traveled as far as from Taraba to Katsina. And from Katsina to Jivia, there is about 37 police checkpoints. And in all of these checkpoints, this woman has not been detected carrying this number of ammunition until the last checkpoint to enter to Niger, that she was detected and found conveying this 147 AK-47 ammunitions. And this is the trend in almost everywhere, in almost every part of the Northwest, more especially in my state, Zamfara State. Because of some people who are contributing this as because of the gold mining that is happening in the state or this and that, but that is not true. The truth is that the security situation in this country is, I wouldn't say has failed, but is almost near that, Mr. President. And there must be something very urgently to secure this country. Otherwise, I fear we will all find ourselves in situations that we cannot maintain. With these few remarks, I wish to submit that we have done summits, we have done almost everything. Now we are waiting for, and we are hopeful on the new administration to come out with an agenda that will get us out of this problem. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, distinguished Senator Yao Sahabi. I just want to ask a question. The lady that was finally apprehended at the last checkpoint with 147 rifles with ammunition, we may need to know what the outcome of the investigation was. How did she get there to the last checkpoint at Jibia? You know why I'm saying that? Almost entering Niger. unless there is a secret route that she used, which is not known to security agencies. But if she used the normal route with what you said, 38 38 roadblocks, and then she was able to beat. Oh, 38 roadblocks in Katsina alone. That's where she was caught. So I think we will urge our committee on national security and intelligence to get us more information on the aftermath of that investigation, because it's very vital that we know how she was able to traverse up to that point. And that could also be a major kidnapping route, because definitely a woman with such number of rifles and ammunition is ammunition. You mentioned AK-47 with the ammunitions. Yes. Anyway, let me hear from the Distinguished Senator Ekong Sampson. We are all very concerned about this, so, and I don't want us to make it a ritual. We just maybe one or two comments and then we go into the prayers so that we can move into other things. The major thing is for us to get results. Distinguished Senator Ekong Sampson.
I speak for Akwa Ibom South. My President, this is a matter that evokes passions. I recall that I mentioned to you some time ago about the trauma in my state, which also your state, about the fate of 8 coppers and a driver. The information here has to be adjusted, because what happened in my state was not just about 8 coppers. The driver of that vehicle was also affected. We are confronted with an issue here in which you are either infected or you are affected. The trauma that we are facing in our parts due to kidnapping indeed is a cause for concern. My heart bleeds for the fate of those 8 Nigerians who are languishing in the forest, and the driver. These could have been our children. These could have been our relations. For close to 2 months, nobody knows where they are. The parents weep night and day. The relations cry their eyes out.
Where did this take place?
This nation, they went to save Nigeria. They went to play their part to show that they are patriots. For 2 months, nobody knows where they are, and the parents are weeping their eyes out. I want to join my colleague here to please appeal to Nigeria to rescue those young Nigerians and the driver of that vehicle. I'm one of those Nigerians who stand tall to articulate the gains of the NYC scheme. That scheme has brought us together. It has built bridges. And when the legacy of your government will be fully told, praises will continue to endure to him for the NYC scheme. But my presidents, my dear colleagues, the gains of that scheme, as lofty as they are, have been undermined by the trauma that some of our youth are going through while answering our national call. I want to commend my colleague for this motion. It's very, very timely. The time has come for Nigeria to take ownership of our security architecture. The disconnect that we are having here is that we treat this issue with lethargy, as if it doesn't concern us. We must take security as our common concern. That will be the beginning of this consciously. It has become a national embarrassment. How does the larger society look at us that we cannot protect our innocent youth who went to save this country, who went to take part in their NYC scheme. Let us rise and look for these children and look for other Nigerians who are being held helplessly against their wishes. I thank you.
Distinguished Senator Mbiki.
Thank you, Mr. President of the Senate. I remain Mpigi Barinada. I represent the good people of Rivers Southeast Senatorial District. Mr. President, I'm a Rivers man. Mr. President, I want to thank the mover of this motion, and sincerely, I want to say he's bringing our concern back to the people. Mr. President, everybody that speaks here keeps talking about security agencies. Security agencies. I listened to the past speakers, some of them were talking about issue of summit. The summit we are doing is always in Abuja here. We have 109 senatorial district headquarters. Mr. President, without being biased, we hear right on the floor of the Senate, some people will say, my elections were done, or is being done at IDP camps. Most of these places are their senatorial headquarters. I want us to be practical to an extent, Mr. President. This Senate should declare a state of emergency within ourselves. The 109 senators should go to their senatorial district. Meet with these people because there is nothing we are saying that is out of place. I am from Ogoni, I'm from Rivers State. My senatorial headquarters is in Bori. Mr. President, I can move to Bori, I can summon whosoever concerned, and there is nothing that happens in that place that I won't know. We need to be practical to an extent. Each time we sit down here, we are senators, but election time we go to our senatorial districts. Let's for once go back and handle this problem along with the security agencies in our place. Mr. President, we have to be practical and not for us to just sit down here to be speaking history or maybe rhetorically to talk about security agencies. One thing is passing through here without us meeting with our people. Declare a day all senators should go back home to meet with their people and handle this security situation with the DPOs accordingly. We'll come back to report this matter back to you, Mr. President, as so submit.
Thank you, Distinguished Senator Mbiki. The problem there is that even when you are going to your senatorial district headquarters, in some places like Zamfara, and you will also need a retinue of security to be able to talk to your people. It's true that security is everybody's business, but I want to align myself that it is good for us to, it will be good for us to at least attempt to meet the security apparatus in our various senatorial districts while arranging a kind of town hall meetings to enlighten the citizens on the need to be security conscious and the need to do what Senator Lawan said. When you see, you report. You don't just see and keep quiet. Otherwise, when you see, you say something. Otherwise, today may be somebody else's turn. Tomorrow may be your children's turn. I think that is also a very good idea. Distinguished Senator Ismaila Kawu.
Mr. President, my dear respected distinguished colleague, I am Suleiman Abrahaman Kawu Sumaila, representing Kano South Senatorial District, Mr. President. Mr. President, when I reached you in the morning with my motion, which is similar with Senator Abdulaziz's motion, and of course, even in the content of our order papers of today, there are so many motions like this. And incidentally, when I am speaking, we spoke with one of us, he too is complaining on this issue of kidnapping in his senatorial district. And from the aggregate opinion of the entire Senate, it shows that the problem is common and it's rampant all over Nigeria. I can see from the prayer of the motion side, it's very comprehensive, and at least it will help us in arriving in a situation. Mr. President, in our own case from Kano South Senatorial District, which we have 16 local government, 171 political ward with over 5 million population, which made it to be largest senatorial district in Nigeria. We border with almost 4 states, Kaduna, Katsina, Bauchi, and of course Jigawa. Not Plateau, we are very close to Plateau. And Mr. President, we are battling with this issue of insecurity, more especially kidnapping. Even yesterday, in Kano, sir, there are so many reports from various local government. From Takai, Tudunwada, Dogwa, and so many places. Therefore, Mr. President, my dear respected colleague, I think the best way to handle this issue, listening to the contribution of our colleagues, we need to do the needful, and we need to sit down and address this issue drastically. I propose an amendment to the additional prayer, which I think it will help us in and plead with our colleague to see reason on it, sir. He said we can continue, sir.
Okay, distinguished Senator Kau, I think that that leads us to the next major item, which will be the prayers. Almost everybody here has an experience of one kidnapping or banditry or the other. If we need to discuss this issue, we'll have to have a retreat. And it must be one of the items we take up in our upcoming retreat. But if we discuss it here today, we may not finish. So, the distinguished Senator Nengi, come by way of additional prayer. There is nothing you add that will be different from the kidnap. It's kidnapping. It is banditry. It's terrorism. Okay. All right. Okay.
Can I say amend the prayer? Okay, sir.
You add it when we have additional prayer. You bring it up as an additional prayer. I'm talking about Senator Kau.
The 2 minutes you have given me, I really appreciate. Mr. President, I am very sure if you count the number of motions that we had since the beginning of 10th Senate about security, it's about 13 times, and this is the 14th time. Mr. President, we cannot continue to do things all the time and we're not getting results. And while at the same way and we're not getting results, we need to be proactive. Sir, the issue of security, while we are discussing it, is not about the media. We cannot, sir, discuss internal security of this country in a plenary session. My position on this matter, you recall, and some people can recall, in 2003, we passed a motion in the House that the security chiefs of the nation come fortnightly to brief the Senate President and the Speaker. That has been abandoned. What we ought to do now, Mr. President, is to set a whole one day legislative day, and invite the National Security Advisor, the Chief of Army Staff, the Chief of Defense Staff, the Chief of Naval Staff, the Chief of Air Force, and the Inspector General of Police, and the DSS, and the NIA, and bring them here. Not in plenary, sir. In the letter, please, let me land. In the letter that the Senate President should send to these people is to be able to tell them, this nation is falling. What are you bringing? What are your challenges? And they come in, all of them, sir. We start from the National Security Advisor. He tells us his challenges. The Inspector General of Police tells us his challenges. But in a closed door session. Mr. President, nowhere in this country, in the world, that security issues are discussed in plenaries. Nowhere. Because as we are discussing it, these people are also looking at us. Whatever you say is being recorded, is being seen. Believe you me, sir, we are not going to get a headway if we continue to keep on these motions. It's not going to take us anywhere. We have to discuss this in a closed door session, not in plenaries. And that is my submission.
Thank you. The slight amendment to your submission is to the effect that our constituents need to know that we are as concerned as they are. And it's important that they know that we are doing something about it. Otherwise, it will tend to give the impression that the entirety of government is insensitive to the plight of the citizens. I saw an alert yesterday where they were warning people in Abuja that if you call a Bolt or a car, and then it has two different plate numbers, the one at the back is different, the one in front is different, don't enter, because that automatically is danger. So I think a lot of information will need to go out, and this discussion is important for people to know. And people are hearing, and from the suggestions you are going to make here, it will help the public. So because we have a lot of things on the order paper for the day, let's go straight into the prayers. Prayer 1, commend the security agencies for their ongoing efforts in tackling the menace of kidnapping, insurgency, and other security challenges. Those in support of this prayer say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Prayer 2, urge the various security agencies in Nigeria to be more proactive and to ensure these kidnapped students of the Federal University in Dusima are all released without further delay. Those in support of prayer 2 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Call on the sorry. You want an amendment?
Yes, sir, prayer 2. Sir, urge the various security agencies in Nigeria to be more proactive and ensure these kidnapped students are all released. It is not only those students, sir. It is not only those Well, you mentioned those it must be. It must include Zamfara and all other places.
Okay, so then, put it as you think it should be reflected. Amend it.
Okay, thank you, sir. I will put it. Oh, may I read it? Okay. Urge the various security agencies in Nigeria to be more proactive and ensure these kidnapped students are all released without delay. It captured clearly, but when you mention those This is what I am saying, sir.
So I think what you are trying to say is that prayer should be more specific. That we should say, but I would like us to add that urge the various security agencies in Nigeria to be more proactive and to ensure that all kidnapped victims, including the students that were kidnapped in Federal University of Dusima, the coppers that were kidnapped in Zamfara, and try to be more detailed, and then are all released. I think try to be more detailed so that we know we are not just talking in generic terms, because people are being kidnapped almost everywhere. But let us, we started with the Federal University of Dusima, then we've added the 8 coppers that were kidnapped in Zamfara. Then you now add the ones that you were going to raise concern about. So let's be specific there. So rephrase that prayer so that we can. Distinguished Senator Tambo, I don't know whether you understand the flow. So assist us to give the three names so that we can write them down now. There are at least 3-4 places, and then including all others that have been kidnapped. But I want some of those things, some of the names of the places to be reflected. The students in Federal University of Dusuma, the coppers that were kidnapped on their way to youth service in Savara, then
Zamfara State, Federal University Gusau in Zamfara State.
Let's amend it and couch it in that way. Secretariat, do you understand? Clerk, did you get what I said? So, anyway, those who are in support of the amendment, that we urge the various security agencies in Nigeria, yes, to be more proactive and to ensure that all kidnapped victims in the country are released, particularly those aforementioned. Students of Federal University in Dusuma, 8 youth coppers kidnapped in Savara, and Federal University of Gusau, amongst others. Those in support of the amended prayer say aye. And those against say nay. The ayes have it. So, prayer 3, call on the military and other security agencies to conduct a special operation to dislodge the various bandits, or to dislodge the bandits in the northwest zone. Yes. Amendment, Senator Moro.
Thank you, Mr. President. Distinguished colleagues, I am Senator Abba Moro. I represent the good people of the Benue South Senatorial District. Mr. President, I want to amend prayer 3 to read, call on the military and other security agencies to conduct special operations to dislodge the bandits in the northwest zone and other parts of Nigeria with similar experience. I so submit, Mr. President.
Any seconder? Yes, this is Senator Alero.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mohammed Alero is my name. I rise to second the prayer heavily moved by distinguished Senator Abba Moro, that the security agencies should conduct special operations to dislodge bandits in the northwest and other zones where banditry is taking place.
Thank you. Distinguished colleagues, the prayer 4, prayer 3 has been amended, and the amendment has been seconded. Those who are in support of the amendment, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Prayer 4, urge the security agencies to enhance and coordinate their intelligence sharing. Prayer 4, urge the security agencies to enhance and coordinate their intelligence sharing. Those who are in support of this prayer say aye. Those against say nay. The nays have it. Prayer 5, direct the Nigeria Police to ensure that the school protection squad demonstrates a clear commitment to protecting school children and providing a safe environment where students and teachers can engage in teaching and learning without a fear of being attacked or kidnapped. Those in support of this prayer say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Prayer 6. Direct the Senate Committee on Legislative Compliance to ensure that relevant security agencies comply with the resolutions of the Senate. Those in support of this prayer say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Any additional prayer? Yes, distinguished Senator Alero.
Thank you, Mr. President. My name is Mohammed Adam Alero, represent Kebbi Central. Mr. President, the additional prayer I want to propose is that the federal government should address the manpower deficit in the armed forces and in the police. Armed forces and the police, because, Mr. President, in all the summits we had, both in the 8th Senate and the 9th Senate, the issue of manpower shortage has been a recurrent dismal. In the police force, okay. Yeah.
Have you finished? No, I got your attention. I'm just waiting for somebody to second your amendment. Go ahead with the amendment. They will understand. Go ahead with the additional prayer. Additional prayer. Any seconder? Yes, Senator Plank.
Our Senate President, my dear distinguished colleagues, I am Senator Dicket Plank. I'm on my feet to support the additional prayer raised by our distinguished Senator Alero. I said so because I sincerely believe that the ratio of the security men to Nigerians and the topography of our country deserves more people in it. We should concentrate more in employing more youthful people into the security forces. This will go a long way to help. Otherwise, the social investment, other investment of our nation will easily be crippled when there is insecurity in any other small business we have. So I support it in totality.
Yes. The additional prayer has been moved by Senator Alero and seconded by Senator Plank. Those who are in support of the additional prayer say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Yes, distinguished leader. Larry.
Mr. President. Mr. President, we want to add that we should urge the police to reactivate the community policing with view of making it effective through budget provision.
Well, I don't know whether it is not the police that will reactivate community policing. You have passed the law. It is left to the various states to commence community policing in liaison with the police. Police would never, he said the police can beef up their manpower. But if there's any seconder to that, no. Okay. Yeah, Senator Yao. Any seconder to that additional prayer? Senator Ningi. Oh, okay.
I rise to second the motion ably moved by Senator Yao that the security chiefs should be invited by the Senate President to address the senators in this matter. I so moved.
Dismissed college, an amended prayer or additional prayer has been added that the Senate President should fix a date and invite all the security chiefs involved in maintaining law and order to address the Senate in a closed session. Those who are in support of this additional prayer say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Let me thank distinguished Senator Yaradua. Distinguished Senator Moro.
Thank you, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues. I remain Senator Abba Moro, representing the good people of the Benue South Senatorial District. I rise to move this additional prayer to read, government at all levels and employers of labor should address unemployment and poverty since they constitute the twin cause of insecurity in the country. I so move.
Any seconder? Senator Alero.
Thank you, Mr. President. Muhammad Adam is my name. I represent Kebbi Central. I write to second the prayer ably moved by distinguished Senator Abba Moro that government at all levels should address unemployment and insecurity, unemployment and poverty, since these two evils are the major cause of insecurity in the country.
The additional prayer has been moved and seconded. Those who are in support of this additional prayer say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Yeah, point of order.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm coming under Order 41. My name is Mohammed Sani Musa.
Can we finish with this? No. I just want to commend distinguished Senator Abdulaziz Yaradua for bringing this issue to the fore and to align myself totally with the submissions of distinguished senators today. And just to add that the responsibilities connected with rescuing, securing lives and properties, they do not rest solely with security agencies. The citizens must also get involved if we must protect life. There is no society that does not do the bad acts in those societies. So it's very important that people begin to be very conscious and educate themselves, and they watch their children and watch their actions. I think it must start from the homes. So it's a fact that, yes, indeed, the current administration is also doing a lot to address the situation. And I don't want to preempt what the security chiefs will brief you. But when they come before you, you hear some of the things that the current administration is doing, of course, to have succeeded in reducing very drastically the incidences of insurgencies, banditry, and even the kidnapping we are talking about. They were more widespread than what we are witnessing in the last few months since President Bola Ahmed Tinubu took over office. But I believe when the security chiefs are before us, they will brief us and will also add ideas. We'll make contributions to them on ways to ensure that we are totally free. I thank my colleagues for all their contributions. Yes, Senator Sani.
Thank you, Mr. President. My name is Mohammed Sani Musa, representing Niger East Central District. I'm coming under Order 41. Can I read, sir? The matter for discussion shall, if possible, be referred to the President of the Senate, before commencement of the day's sitting, and the President of the Senate shall refuse to allow the claim unless he is satisfied that the matter is definite and urgent. 2, if the claim is allowed by the President of the Senate, and the leave of the Senate is given by at least 1/5 of all the senators, the matter shall stand over till the next legislative day. Sir, I'm coming with a very serious problem that we are facing, especially in my senatorial district, and which is also being faced by so many other states where natural resources are found. Illegal miners, we have found out that illegal miners have become menace. And as long as they continue to operate without adequate legislation and guidelines, banditry, insurgency will not be over. So I want to bring a motion on that because.
So distinguished colleagues, distinguished Senator Sani Musa had discussed this issue with me, and is suggesting bringing a motion to that effect. And I don't think, is it the view of the Senate that he be allowed to bring it up on the next legislative date? So, yes, point of order. That is Sunday Marshall, distinguished Senator.
Thank you, Mr. President of the Senate. Sunday Marshall Katum. I represent the people of Kaduna South Senatorial District from Kaduna State. My point of order, Mr. President, is premised on Order 41 and 51, but with particular reference to subsection 4 of 41, which states not more than one such motion may be made at the same sitting. I want to crave the indulgence of Mr. President to kindly exercise your discretion in allowing me to take this human angle motion since we have taken one before. I so seek your indulgence, Mr. President.
Yeah, give us an idea of what it is all about.
It is on the urgent need to address the outbreak of a deadly disease affecting ginger production in southern Kaduna State.
You are talking about the outbreak of
a deadly disease that is affecting the production of ginger in southern Kaduna State. By way of introduction, Your Excellency, Nigeria is the third largest producers of ginger in the world, and Kaduna State is the major producer of ginger in Nigeria. Suddenly, a disease has besieged this product, which has affected the production, and it's also affecting the output of ginger, and also constituting a health hazard to the communities around the area. That's why I'm bringing this motion, sir.
Okay, so the motion is referred to the next legislative date. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished senators, the first business of the day is the presentation of a bill standing in the name of distinguished Senator Ndubueze Patrick Chiwuba of the National Roads Fund Bill 2023, SB 60. Mr. President, you may wish to invite the Clerk of Senate to read the short title of the bill.
Clerk of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, National Road Fund Bill 2023 SB 60, first reading.
Distinguished colleagues, National Roads Fund Bill 2023 SB 60, first reading taken. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, the second business of the day is the presentation of a bill standing in the name of distinguished Senator Abbas Aminu Iya on the Federal University of Education Hong Establishment Bill 2023 SB 108. Mr. President, you may wish to invite the Clerk of Senate to read the short title of the bill.
Clerk of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, Federal University of Education Hong Establishment Bill 2023 XB 108, first reading.
Distinguished colleagues, Federal University of Education Hong Establishment Bill 2023 SB 108, first reading taken. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, the third business of the day is the presentation of a bill standing in the name of distinguished Senator Olamilekan Adeola Solomon on the Federal College of Geological and Cement Studies, Iselu, Yewa North, Ogun State, Establishment Bill 2023, SB 109. Mr. President, you may wish to invite the Clerk of Senate to read the short title of the bill.
Clerk of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, Federal College of Geological and Cement Studies in Selu, Yewa North, Ogun State, Establishment Bill 2023, SB 109, first reading.
Distinguished colleagues, Federal College of Geological and Cement Studies, Iselu, Yewa North, Ogun State, Establishment Bill 2023, SB 109, first reading taken. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, the fourth business of the day is the presentation of a bill standing in the name of distinguished Senator Joe